The BBC licence fee, here we go again. It's back in the telescope sights of the government, this time rattling their sabre about blocking a 9% pay rise, licence fee rise, on that. What's your take on that? Should the government be getting involved in this, or is the licence fee actually fair for what you get?
Well, I mean, with the licence fee at the moment is 43p a day, which is quite cheap for all the various services the BBC provide: TV, radio, both national and local, online news, the World Service. If the BBC got a full £15 increase, which is what they want, that would only go up 47p. So it's not a huge amount of money. What I do think that Rishi Sunak is dodging at the moment is the licence fee itself is just outdated. What you need is a new system of funding the BBC, and probably the best way of doing that is some kind of household levy.
And so how would that work? I mean, that's what we already have. The BBC licence fee is a de facto household levy. You don't get a choice if you pay it or not. In fact, if you don't want to pay it, you can end up in jail or prosecuted. I've been inundated with stories of that today when I put it out on social media. So how would this household levy work, Nigel?
For starters, it would become an opt-out system rather than opt-in, which makes it easier to collect and enforce. It would work in a similar way to the way that we pay council tax. But what would happen is that you would pay different levels of licence fee depending on the value of your house. So obviously, the bigger the house, the more likely you are to have more than one television, and those people would end up paying more. Now, if you actually added it to council tax and you collected it that way, what it would mean is that people would automatically be opted in, and anybody who didn't want to watch the BBC could then opt out and not pay the fee. And of course, you could enforce that much more easily because you could check that those people are opting out legitimately.
But surely everybody would just opt out.
Well, I mean, if they did opt out, then they can't watch the BBC. There's a situation we've got at the moment that the BBC have lost 400,000 licence payers a year, and that's because people are using different services and not having anything to do with the BBC. So it would be your choice. You could then decide, do you want to watch the BBC or don't you?
OK, Nigel Nelson, always a pleasure to talk to you. GB News, a senior political commentator. Thank you very much. I think if there was an opt-out clause, simply everybody